It's your boy Mills from MillCity Boxing, home of that high-level pro boxing media, the Fighters and Trainers channel, and most importantly, the People's channel. Please go out your way and double tap the screen if you are on mobile devices. Hit the like button. And also, super chats are always welcome. Today's show, we're going to be talking about Edwin Delos Santos and Keshan Davis. Abdullah Mason stealing the show in Norfolk, Virginia today. Lots and lots of people are talking about this, and it's ringing. It's ringing a lot of bells. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, is Keshan Davis just out there clout chasing, trying to really just put out his brand on every division?" I mean, he did talk about a lot of fights with Teofimo Lopez, with Richardson Hitchens, so many different names at 140 pounds. So this was just bound to happen. But in an Instagram live with Coach Kenny Ellis, Javante Tank Davis as coach, and also Keshan Davis himself and Gilly the Kid. We talked about the situation as far as when is he going to be moving up in weight. When he decided that he wanted to really talk about these fights with Javante Tank Davis at 135, and Coach Kenny says, "Hey, when are you gonna be moving up in weight?" And I'll throw that clip in just a second, but we're gonna be having Rashidi Ellis tuning in with us right now, getting his thoughts and his reactions to all this, and he also has a fight coming up in the Mill City, June 21st in 2 weeks. So if you guys are in the area, make sure you guys go out and tune in. And let's talk about this boxing. So first up, we got Rashidi in the building.
What up, what up?
What's up, Rashidi? So man, the boxing world is moving, bro. It's taking a spin. It's spiraling every chance it gets. Were you looking forward to the Keshan Davis and Edwin De Los Santos fight?
Yeah, of course. Like I was telling you, that would have been a great fight. It would have been a great impact fight. Daniel Santos would have put the pressure, so would have given no choice to Keshan Davis but to fight.
You think the fight would have went the distance anyways?
Oh, that shit that was talking about, I don't know, but yeah, that went the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a great fight though to watch. I'm kind of mad that it happened.
Right. Now, tell me, looking at the matchup, what does this matchup really say to the boxing world and to yourself, as far as for Keshan Davis and some of the guys that he's faced, and also Edwin De Los Santos, a guy that has experience as well? I mean, what do you feel like was this a meaningful fight? Obviously, it was for the title, but yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was a great test for Keshan Davis too. Against a great opponent like that. And I don't think he fought somebody like him or similar like him yet. So it would have been a great test to see what he's capable of doing. And so far, he showcased his talent. He went in front of us.
Now, in the same time, your reception's going like crazy.
It's tough over here.
Yeah, now you in the Goonies. So yeah. Nevertheless, yo, you know what, Rashidi, we'll rock when you have a better signal, when you in more of the city.
Yeah, for sure. I hit you up. Yeah, I've probably been in the city like probably like an hour. I'm going to the
Alright.
fight.
Yeah, hit me up when you were like around more people and less deer and shit.
I got you. I hit you up.
All right, brother. What?
All right. Peace. Be easy.
Smash the like button, y'all. So let's get into it. The phone lines are now available for anybody that wants to tap in. Press join on Instagram Live. Let's continue this discussion. Holy shit. So now, all right, let's bring it back. We got to bring it back, right? So Keshan Davis gets the title from Baranchek. Baranchek beats Navarrete. Navarrete, not a real 135 pounder. Never held the title at 135 pounds. And he was in that situation. Shout out to my man Kevin the Thunderstore Johnson. See you in the building, bro. Hopefully you got better reception. Um, and we're gonna get into this boxing talk. Like I said, we got primetime boxing. What's going on? Primetime Talk TV. What's going on? He's the one that messed up the live in the beginning. Put you on blast real quick, and then double tap the screen if you are on mobile devices, y'all. Hit the like button. We got primetime TV, and then we got Kevin the Thunderstorm Johnson. Kevin, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing good, my brother. How you doing, Mill?
I'm doing good. I'm getting feedback. Anybody that got a phone that's on something, lift it up because it sounds bad. I think it's you. Who is it? Hello? All right, better not. It's a little. Ooh, I feel some feedback. Should I do one at a time? Hold on. Let me see if it's you, T. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me get. All right. T, come out and come back in. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me start this one all over again. Damn, these electronics are going horrible today, huh? They're just removed from the video. Confirm. Hold on, Kev. I'm gonna start this over again. It was him. It wasn't you. Come right back on. Smash the like button, y'all. Smash the like button, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? We're gonna get this thing right. We're gonna get this thing right. Salute to everybody in the live. Smash the like button on YouTube. This discussion is gonna take up the day until we see Abdullah Mason go out his way and take over on Norfolk, Virginia on the main event. And it's wild, right? It's wild how God works, huh? You know, the press conference was, you know, I think Abdullah Mason wasn't ready. I don't think Mason was ready for Keshan Davis, adding that pressure. And then under 24 hours, we get the news that you can't make 135 pounds no more, Key. You can't. And we have some stuff to prove that. You know what I mean? We have some stuff to prove that other than yesterday. It was nasty work. I feel bad that, all the people that were in the building, buying tickets to see this big main event, it wasn't able to happen. That's not being the businessman, but I don't know. That's not good business right there. That's not good business. And when this happens to you in your career, and it happens. But when it happens when you're at home, that's a killer. That is a killer when you're at home. Oh, it's definitely you, T. It's definitely you.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you have feedback.
That's crazy.
What's going on, Kyron? Yeah, you got feedback. What's going on, Kai? How we doing, brother? We doing good? Tap in with your boy. Love to get your thoughts on this fight that could have went down. And 4.3 pounds was reported, but Samson Liquid is saying that it was 4.9, which is basically 5 pounds, which is basically the it's the next weight division up. You know what I mean? It's nasty work. Definitely get, Tio was getting the nasty work of the week from Duck and Devin Haney's offer, but this one right here, This one takes the cake. This one's nasty work of the day for sure. The biggest. Um, I like Mason's energy, a silence killer. Absolutely. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for Keshan Davis's mouth. He wasn't ready for that pressure. He doesn't have the gift of gab. He don't. He's a fighter. You know what I mean? Comes from a good family, respectable family. I was talking to Brian Norman Sr. earlier today, and he was saying that, you know what I mean? As a father, you got to be able to keep your son grounded. When you get all these lights, cameras, people tend to switch up, change up a little bit. Not good. But in this situation right here, a lot of people are saying, Mills, it's really nasty work. The fact that he didn't feel bad about not losing the weight. It was like it was nothing. Like it was like if this is sold out tonight, whew, and they wanted to see y'all. They wanted to see Edwin Delos Santos and Keshan Davis. That's what we came here. We came here for that. I know a lot of people that got media credentials over there, and they're just like, "What's going on?" They're flying back out, or they already out here. He, yeah, he didn't even apologize to the fans. Absolutely, like no apology, nada, nothing. It's like you know, we saying that we want to improve the sport, right? And then this happens. Now salute to Edwin de los Santos not being taken advantage of. Because Edwin doesn't live in Norfolk, Virginia. He don't live there. You know, yeah, he probably had some fans. But let's be real. And he's getting paid. Hello. And I came off a 2-year layoff. Hello. And I had an injury, a blood clot injury. Hello. I mean, and you're not gonna expect, like, come on, you guys think that he's not gonna fight him? Of course he's not gonna fight him. That's a you coming in at 140 pounds. I'm coming in at 134. This is nasty work. This is nasty work. I mean, and now look at us now. And then you talk bad about, then you talk crazy to Abdullah Mason. We fighting next, right? And Abdullah's like, I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, of course you don't want to talk to me. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you because you don't make the weight. You can't even make the weight. So why are we talking? Nasty work. And I got some inside stuff too, like when it comes down to like, what's going on in the hotels and the way people are acting and stuff like that. Now, it'd be like for show, it'd be for entertainment, right? But in the same time, it's like slippery slope. We're fans at the end of the day. We hold you accountable for everything that you say. You've said that you wanted to fight Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a smaller guy at a capping at 135. Yeah, he fought Barrio Barrios, but it's like Super Zab Judah. Zab Judah got a title at 154 pounds. What did he do after? He decided to want to go back down. Because why? He didn't feel like that was his weight class. Well, similar thing with Tank. He believes that 140 pounds is not his weight class. And what? He wants to campaign at 135. You got to make the weight. There's so many fighters out here, guys. So many fighters out here that I'm telling you, there's so many fighters out there that they're campaigning and they're big. They're campaigning. They're gonna campaign at 54. I think Keshan might cap out at 54. When he gets older, you know. I think he'll probably cap up at. I met the kid, you know. I'm 5'8". He looked like he was about 5'9". All his brothers are tall. All his brothers are big. You know what I mean? Um, it's not. I expect more from Keshan. there was a lot of things said in the press conference that was leading up to like belts don't matter. That was like a hint, and that's where a lot of people are saying that, they believe that this type of conduct, it shouldn't be allowed, and there should be more than just, you know, a penalty when it comes down to per pound. How I think it was like 10% per pound. Edwin De Los Santos decided not to take that. And that's his choice. That's his team's choice. And you got to be better than this. You got to be better than this. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable, and at the highest degree. I expect more from Keyshawn. I expect. I don't expect Edwin De Los Santos to just take that disadvantage and just and roll with it. No, I mean, you're telling us that you're gonna knock out Edwin De Los Santos. This is what you're saying. You're saying that you're gonna knock out De Los Santos in the third round. You forgot to tell us that you're 4 pounds over as well. Now I like Keshan Davis. I like him. I think he's good for the sport. But this right here, you're gonna lose fans. No doubt about it. Sorry, you're gonna lose fans, and the way you conduct yourself as well. An apology needs to be said. I apologize to my fans because at 140 pounds, Keyshawn, you could possibly meet your match, brother. You could possibly meet your match. That guy. There's so many guys. There's so many gorillas. There's so many strong fighters. There's so many lions. There's so many great fighters at 140. So many warriors at 140 pounds. And I would love to see him with all of them. And I'm not saying that he's going to get exposed at 140. I'm not saying, because I think he's a great fighter. But it gets tougher, guys. It gets tougher. Everyone is on another level at 100. The experience level at 140 pounds is a little bit different. You know, um, yeah, you're gonna get maybe less of a. I don't even want to say you're gonna get less of an amateur pedigree in that division. I think that Antoine Russell has a great pedigree, amateur pedigree. Teofimo had a great amateur pedigree. Richardson Hitchens, I mean, he competed, always lost at the highest level in the amateurs, but was still on that level. You know what I'm saying? He was still there. They're great fighters at 140. I don't think Cambosis is a real test at 140. I don't think he's a guy that can really mix it up with the guys. But it's Abdullah's time, to be to shine at 135. You know, listen, I always thought that Abdullah and Shakur would have been a most likely fight to happen before a Keyshawn Davis, because I knew Keyshawn couldn't make the weight. I told him, I'm not the only one. Coach Kenny told him too. You understand? And if you don't believe me, here it is.
In a minute, in the next couple of years, you might be 140. You know what I'm saying? How long? Like, how you make that weight too? Like, AB is my man, right?
Look at the smile. Look at the smile. You seen the smile? You seen the smile?
In the next couple of years, you might be 140. You know what I'm saying? How long? Like, how you make that weight too? Like, AB is my man, right? You look big.
I'm not going to be 140 pounds in the next couple of years. Should I play it again? This was a live between me, Coach Kenny, and Gilly the Kid approximately a year ago. And we're telling you, you're huge. Pause, super pause, right? But I'm just saying, you big, bro. You big. You know what I mean? That's what she said. You know what? Check it.
In a minute, in the next couple of years, you might be 140. You know what I'm saying? is my man, right? You look big.
I'm not. I'm not gonna be at 135 for long. And this was a conversation when he was trying to chase that Tank fight. A lot of these guys, once again, you could see them capping out at 147 at the end of their career. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if they're going to be successful at 147. I'm just saying that they're going to cap out there, and I'm talking about all of them. Uh, Look at Devin. Devin had what? Two fights? One fight at 140? Bro, he had two fights at 140. Let's be real. Regis Prograis was at 140. His opener, right? And then he went into that Ryan Garcia fight. Okay? After that, his career was what? At 135 pounds. Another guy that's huge campaigning at the lower weight classes. Jose Angulo, what's going on? So, this is another case of that. This is a kid that's going to eventually be a welterweight, and he's a little bit bigger than some of these other guys, so he might touch 154 for a title if his name is built big enough. You know what I mean? If his name doesn't get built big enough, then he probably won't need to ever do. And if he doesn't want to achieve that type of legacy too, you know what I mean? Become what that would be, a 3 division, 4 division champion going up to 454. I mean, that's if he wants to reach that type of greatness. If he does not, 47 is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? At the end of your career. There's only so much you can. There's only so much weight burning and weight cuts that you can do in a fighter's career for them to be able to last. You know what I mean? And Keshan Davis is getting the money now. You know what I mean? He's getting the money now. Clearly not yesterday, but Delos Santos got paid. Now, it, tricky, very tricky, right? Because he's only held that title. He hasn't even held that title for a year. Keshawn Davis hasn't even held his title for 1 year. And he hasn't fought. To be quite honest with you, he hasn't fought an elite. Right? Check this out. An elite 135 pounder that has some youth to him. You know what I'm saying? A dog. A guy that you're like, oh shit. That dude is young, powerful, explosive. He hasn't had that test. Now, I like the test that he had and he passed it. The guy before Lemos. And he did Lemos dirty. You know what I mean? He did Lemos dirty. I know people gonna say, yeah, but he brought Lemos from 140 to 135. Yeah, but Lemos didn't make the weight anyway. You see how that reversed? That reversed. Wait a minute. This is bringing back some little memories here real quick. Hold on. Because Barichek was a smaller guy. I think Barichek was smaller than Lemos and the guy that he fought before Lemos. But in my behalf, shout out to Willie in the building. I'm gonna get the call-ins. I'm gonna let everybody tap in. I wanna hear all the people's thoughts on this situation as well. But I definitely want to continue to cook. I don't want too many voices to go right. So let's get patient. We're all gonna have a turn. But yes, this was an important fight for Keshan, and we all knew this, right? Coming into the fight, obviously you had a former opponent of Shakur Stevenson, right? And everybody wanted to know, hey, who's better? You guys are not going to fight, so who's better? And Edwin De Los Santos was going to be a measuring stick, right? Some type of measuring stick. Now, in the same time, right? What can we say about Keshan in his next fight, right? What can we say that we need to expect, right? Well, at 140 pounds, do you jump straight into a title fight? You're a champion at 135. You beat Barichek, right? I don't know how much weight that holds. I'm not gonna hold you guys. I don't know how much weight that win holds besides achieving boxing legacy, having that on in the historical books. But besides that, I don't know if that wins the fans. You understand? I don't know if the fans believe in that win. I don't know about that. I believe that Delos Santos was a win that people was gonna say, you know what? The 2 year layoff, he's young, so I don't really, the blood clot, it's hard, you know what I mean? If you really know boxing, you'll know that you have to heal, and that takes away some time from your, your training mechanism. Your training camp is gonna take away from that. And come on. Let's be real here. Uh, it still was going to be a good win on his belt if he won, right? But it was still going to be a test. It was still something that everybody wanted to see because we didn't know that what if factor. You know what I mean? We've had other fighters in the past, Brian Norman Jr. to be one of them, has sparred both De Los Santos and Gervonta Tank Davis. He's also sparred Terrence Crawford. He's Boots Ennis. And he says that De Los Santos and Tank is the hardest punches he's ever been in the ring with. Now, did Keshan go out his way and say, let me be heavier so that way I could take those shots that come at me? Because I am hearing that the guy is a thumper. You know what I mean? He punches with both hands. Being heavier and keeping him at a disadvantage, right? Weight, him having to make that weight cut, the appropriate weight class to get the title. Now, yes, if Edwin took the fight, he would have got more money than, was negotiated. And he would have had a shot as being a champion as well. So some people say, hey, yo, listen, if he really believed in himself, right? Why didn't he take that fight? A lot of people are telling me that. Like you got two sides to this, man. You got the Keshan Davis side, and then you got the Edwin De Los Santos side to it, right? Can we have a happy medium? No. Us fans don't want that, right? You know, nobody wants that, right? Nobody's gonna admit that. It could be possibly true though, you know. And two things could be true as well, right? It could be that Keyshawn really can't make the weight, you know. But then it's like it hurts because it's like you saying you could fight Abdullah Mason next. So then us fans are kind of saying like, wait a minute, you could fight Abdullah Mason at 135 pounds, but you can't fight De Los Santos at 135. Hold up, hold up, because you know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. Um, I was born at night, not last night. Hold on. Let me wrap my head around this. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, am I making anything clear to anybody? Like, does this sound a little weird? Or so one thing is for sure, right? You can't make the weight, or you clout chased, or you want the cameras, you want the attention, you want the sales, and this could be all true. You know what I mean? And calling yourself the businessman, cool, right? Wasn't too business savvy doing that to in your hometown though. You know, you're gonna lose a lot of fans. I don't know. Like, talk to me, guys. If it's not, and I don't know. I don't know if like they would, people out there in Virginia would just continue to support, Keyshawn, selling out those the arenas that he's in. You never know. He probably can still do that. But one thing that we know for sure is like when you do your first homecoming and stuff like that, that's just gonna be slamming. You know what I mean? Jerron Boots Ennis. I think he had more people attending the the fight that he had with Ramon Villa, right? I think he had more people attending that fight. Well, that one was in Atlantic City with a smaller venue. So let's go to the one when he went to Philadelphia, which was bigger. I think and Bam Rodriguez was on the card. He fought Karen. I think the numbers were were not at capacity, but they were high. You know what I mean? Stanionis, I didn't hear that it sold out, and that's a title bout. You know what I mean? So it's like, do people continue to straight like support you in your homecomings, and you can guarantee sold out gates. That's hard to do. You have to be a special type of fighter to do that. You know what I mean? Constantly selling out. I think Shakur Stevenson has done very great in Newark, but when we seen one of the other fights, I think the capacity wasn't it wasn't full capacity. So, you know, we got the first caller coming in. Low Nose Boxing in the building. Low Nose Boxing in La Casa. What's going on, Low?
What's going on, man? I'm chilling, man. What's up, bro? Chilling. What's good with you, man?
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? New caller, man. What's going on, Wolf?
What's good? What's good? What's happening, bro?
Chilling, brother. Chilling. Man, I want to get your guys' thoughts. What's your reaction to Keshan Davis missing weight, and now we're not going to able to enjoy this fight?
Yeah, I'm from Norfolk, bro. I actually used to box and barrage pop with Keshan and his brothers. And like my take on it is, man, like I don't know if y'all watch his stories and stuff on Instagram, but he been running around our city trying to lose weight. He been running around with the little kids that box, you know what I'm saying? He been doing all that type of stuff. So, and then people like saying like maybe he was trying to have a weight advantage. I don't think so because he already bigger than Delos Santos. And
so that's worse, right?
Yeah, I mean it's worse. But what I'm
You're
saying
taking more advantage now.
No, but he didn't. I don't think he did it on purpose.
Okay.
I don't think he did it on purpose. Like I said, he been out here running every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, we watching him every day, so we get to see it. The world don't really get to see the work that he's putting in. But they came into the city probably like a week and a half ago, maybe. Been running every day. They put it on their story. I just think like, come on, bro. Like if you look at the two fighters, so like me. I already studied Delos Santos, you know what I'm saying? When they said that's who was gonna fight, okay, let me go back and watch his fights. And yeah, you know what I'm saying, he's a power, he got punching power in both hands, that's true. But Keshan got punching power as well. Mm-hmm. And let's say Keshan doesn't have more punching power than Delos Santos. At the end of the day, I feel like Keshan is levels above him, in the athletic department. In the skill department and in the IQ department, I do agree, with the opponents that he's fought this far. And I'm saying maybe he hasn't, had the right dance partner at this point. But I believe, going up to 140, I think he'll handle those guys too. Him and he been going back and forth with Richardson Hitchens. He can go straight into that fight if he beat Cambosis. Not saying it because he, we're from the same place and I know him and his brothers, but I think he beats Richardson. Me personally, I think Richardson.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think Richardson Hitchens is petty pat puncher. Me personally.
Still want to see him fight him though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I want to see the fight, bro. But to get back to the point, it is disappointing not to see him. Because that's what everybody was looking forward to. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was looking forward to that, but he'll bounce back. And then it's not a situation where he gonna lose fans in Norfolk. I don't know about anywhere else, but I know his next fight, he fight 140 and he come back home, it's gonna sell out, bro.
Sell out?
Yeah, hell yeah, it's gonna sell out in Norfolk. Yeah, we 100% behind him here.
Well, how do you think tonight's gonna be? Just knowing like.
It's gonna lose some people. I mean, a lot of people still gonna show up to see Kelvin and Keon, but Keshan is. I mean, you can't deny that he's the star.
And Abdullah did deliver last time he was out there.
Yeah, I mean, people want to see Abdullah as well, but at the end of the day, Abdullah would sell. More people will see him. Well, he's from Cleveland, right?
Yep.
What part of Ohio he's from? Yeah, I mean, more people want to see him at where he's from.
100.
People still gonna see him, but for the most part, the people that show up, they're coming to see Kelvin and Keon. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Mason is not there yet, but he got the skill. He got all the talent in the world. All the talent.
I got a question for you. Do you feel like they should have given the main event spot to Calvin?
I wanna say yes, but to be honest, Mason is. I feel like for top rank, Keyshawn is their guy, and I feel like they're building Mason up to be the next guy. So if you want to be truthful, they're gonna give the spot to their guy. That's who they've been putting the spotlight on. He's been knocking dudes
Because
out.
Calvin ain't signed to Top Rank.
Exactly. Yeah, he not even 100% signed to top rank. So
He's
I
just there
agree with
because
it.
of Keyshawn, legitly.
No, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's even Keyshawn said that himself. He told him, if you guys gonna take me on, you got to take my brothers on. And that was real in his part. But just being quite honest, they were supposed to put Mason, as the main event. That's just the person who they're building up to be their next big guy anyway.
Business.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep, business.
Yeah. It was a business move. Yeah, exactly. And then to be quite honest, like he's going to be a big star in boxing. Like you can see the talent. You can see that the people that he's fought thus far, they're not on his level, and that's not his fault. He just fighting people that they put in front of him. So.
Isaiah, thank you for the $2. That man is capping. Keon said people want refunds.
I just said I don't do no capping, homeboy. I'm from Norfolk. We say willing. I don't even play like that. But
Willing?
at the end of the day, excuse me.
You say willing?
No, we say welling. When you lying, we say, man, you welling. He welling. You
Wilding.
Keyshawn saying welling.
Welling.
Like welling. Yeah, you welling.
You
You know
welling.
what I'm saying? That's what we call it, like you welling. But yeah, that's true. Some people are asking for refunds. I didn't say it was gonna be packed. Did I say that? I didn't say it still was gonna sell out. It was gonna sell out if Keyshawn would have fought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are asking for their tickets back because most people going to see Keyshawn. Keyshawn, he's
Star.
the star. Number one. Yeah, I didn't say it was still gonna be packed out. But if you from where I'm from, people still going to see the brothers as well. I don't do no capping, homeboy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I got it. My man Low knows what's going on, man. You still there?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here.
What's your thoughts? What's your reaction on the as far as my man Keyshawn not making weight, and you already know Edwin Delos Santos not taking the fight. And then I got some more questions for you too as well, because we also want to get should have Delos Santos took the fight. That's the other question. So yeah, Lonos, after you.
I'm disappointed for one. This whole week I've been talking real highly about Keshan Davis, and he's still a very good fighter. You know what I mean? I want to see him progress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed I had a fight party lined up today for the Keshan fight. Not a fight for the part. That fight's not going to happen.
Me too.
It's happened before. Javante missed weight, Shakur missed weight. Maybe Keshan is born out of the weight division.
David Benavidez.
Yeah. So Keshan is still young. Not to make no excuses for him, but he is young. And it looks like he's going to make his move to 140 pounds next. And if so, that's great because there's other fights there that he could make. But right now, his reputation going to take a hit because it's very unprofessional. What turned me off about it is that even when he got off the scale, he was still smiling and grinning. He was still grinning, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't taking it seriously.
Yeah, I was.
Santos?
Yeah, I was getting in my comments. Some people were like, "Oh, he was acting like a rapper instead of just being sad and being apologetic to the people." So
he didn't look disappointed at all.
Do you guys feel like that, being from Norfolk, as far as that part is concerned, like his attitude towards the situation?
Man, to be honest, bro, because I see somebody that said he was talking too much. He really scared. Keyshawn always been like that, bro, since a little kid, bro. I've known him before he was even in middle school. You know what I'm saying? He always been that way, bro. So he not doing no acting like we from Norfolk. Like we a small city in Virginia, so of course, like a lot of people not gonna know about us, bro. But Norfolk is a dangerous city, bro. It's dangerous. It's dangerous to live in. Like the worst cities that's in the country. Norfolk is similar to those places. We just small, bro. So everything he's seen it all, bro. He's seen people selling drugs. He's seen people getting killed. You know what I'm saying? So he's from Barrard Park. That's a hood. You know what I'm saying? So when he's talking the way he's talking, the way how he's braggadocious and things like that, it's because he came from something, bro. It's because he made it. So So you guys can feel however y'all want to feel. We know how hard it is to come from our city. We know how hard it is to make it out. It is disappointing that he didn't make the weight, bro. Like we are disappointed because we wanted to see him fight. We wanted to see him beat his ass. We knew he was gonna whoop his ass. Wait, we knew, and then you was like, if Delos Santos should have taken the fight.
Yep.
No, he shouldn't have taken the fight. He shouldn't have taken the fight because, it would have been a weight advantage, of course. He shouldn't have he shouldn't have took the fight. He shouldn't have took the fight because he'd been out so long and his condition. He had to work back from a condition. You know what I'm saying? Did I want him to take the fight? Yeah, I wanted him to take the fight because I feel like he was gonna get his ass whooped regardless. Like, first of all, he's too small, bro. He's too small. But yeah, no, he shouldn't have taken the fight, bro. He did the right thing. And then I could be wrong. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard he got paid his $400,000 anyway. That's what I heard. So if you still gonna get your money and not have to get your ass beat, don't take the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, I don't think he got 400,000 though. He didn't get 400,000. He was probably
that's what they said. That's how much they say he signed his contract for. But from when I heard it on the boxing boards today. They said that
I heard that too.
He still got his money. They say he still got his money. So yeah, so if you
I talked to Delos Santos like not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he signed. I don't know, how much money the fight was for or whatever. But if you was gonna get your money in that fight, don't take the fight. It's a risk. It's a risk.
That he was gonna get more money per pound for sure.
Yeah, and also, he was gonna get 6 figures if he would have fought. An extra 6 figures on top of what he was getting paid if he would have fought from what I heard. So, but I mean, I just thought he was gonna lose anyway. Not being biased, but I don't think his skills is there. Me personally. Nah, he wasn't gonna lose. I mean, that's your opinion. Everybody got an opinion too, because you fucking Keshan. You talking about you from Norfolk, this and that. Delos Santos also from the Dominican Republic. You know how hungry they are? They're very, very hungry. So at the end of the day, I'm not from Delos Santos. I'm just being the middle. That's a third world country. I don't doubt it, bro. But what you gotta understand is we want. Hold on. You was popular.
Hold on. Don't cross over each other.
You see people sell drugs. You saw people did. What about Delos Santos? You don't really know his background too. So it's a two-way street. It's just like we go to court, we're trying to get divorced. It's a two-way street. He's talking about Keshan and not talking about Delos Santos. You try to get your feelings. I believe if the fight he got on into his actual weight, Delos Santos was going to chin him up. That's what I feel too. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, so yeah. But look, I ain't saying because we come from the streets and he from where he from, like that mean anything.
Hold on. Let him talk.
What I'm saying is this, bro. How many times have Keshan been dropped in his career? Who he fought? It don't matter. Who have he been dropped before?
Nah, it do matter.
Who he fought? Listen, bro. Okay, so it do matter, right? So when he fought, what's the last dude he fought? When they fought, that dude was 2 weight classes heavier, right?
Who?
What's the last dude he just fought?
Barachek?
No, not Barachek. The dude before Barachek. What is his name again?
Lemos.
Mustafa Lemos.
Lemos was 2 divisions higher when they got in the ring on fight night, right?
Nah. Okay. Just one. He was supposed to be contracted for 135. He actually fought his last fight with Richardson Hitchens at 140 pounds. So, but then he came in at around closer to 140. So Keshan at that point in time, you could say he was in a disadvantage, but in the same time, we know how big Keshan is as well.
Sure, but I'm behind the whole situation, right? It's only a few people that can come on here and say the truth, and you know me, I'm gonna say the truth. He knew exactly what he was doing. They took the fight. They were trying to mark the kid, trying to come in overweight, bully him, and get him to walk. Get out of there. Hey, look, man, I ain't the best manager in the game, and he made sure that shit didn't work. Simple as that. Hey, look, I ain't come out here to like go back and forth with nobody. You know what I'm saying? We really cut like that out here. So you fought me, but my thing is this. Look, bro.
Hold on.
I gotta say the truth. That's what I'm saying. I gotta say the truth. I feel you. You were saying, if you got his money and he didn't get his ass beat. Why didn't Keyshawn make the weight? Why didn't Keyshawn make the weight? If you made the weight, we could have seen that. If he could have beat his ass, he knew he could not beat him. He knew he could not do that. But he cheated. He wanted to cheat.
1 second, bro, because you got it. 1 second, because you got it, bro. We can say whatever the fuck we want to say, bro. At the end of the day,
one at a time.
We'll see his next fight, bro. You don't know what the fuck gonna happen. That's it. We'll see his next fight. Judge him on the rest of his career.
We ain't gonna see his next fight.
We already saw the clown show yesterday. Clown show.
You can speculate.
They all defended their work.
If the man was scared all you want, bro. At the end of the day, he ain't make weight. He ain't make weight. You disappointed. I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed. I knew he was not gonna fight him.
Let's see what he do his next fight, bro.
It's just like I'm going on a date and I'm expecting to hit on the first date. I know that girl is not gonna let me hit on the first date.
How you know? How you do Delos Santos know you?
You don't know me. I'm from my personal standpoint.
Delos Santos your homeboy. He know you. How you know what the fuck he was fighting?
I know Delos Santos because the first Stevenson ran from him for 12 rounds.
Did Keshan tell you he was scared to fight? He told you that?
Why didn't he make the weight though? From what I know.
You talking about what you know.
I'm a real boxing purist, bro. Let me tell you something. Floyd Mayweather defended his belt. Andre Ward, Shane Mosley, James Stoney, they all defended their belts. They made weight. They were professional. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I don't hear nothing. He didn't make weight. He didn't show the world he was a world-class fighter who's supposed to behave as that. He didn't defend his title, bro. That's it. Done. I don't want to hear about Keshan Davis. Next.
Right. You're right, bro. We just got to watch the rest of his career, bro. He young. He got a long career to go.
Care about that dude.
He got a long career to go. Didn't miss weight.
This was his first test. Frank Martin said the same thing. Frank Martin was on Fight Hype. Frank Martin said this is his first test. We all knew. Listen, Keyshawn, we all knew he gets tagged, bro. Everybody he fights hits him on the chin. Delos Santos has a lot of power. He has a Marcos Medina type of power. When it touch you, something gonna happen.
Listen,
we wanted to see that. We wanted to see that.
Energy. I like it. Isaiah, thank you for the $5. Key did the most with Lemos. I'm glad he pulled out. Edwin pulled out. He ain't no sucker. Keyshawn knew what he was gonna make the weight. Wasn't gonna make the weight. So why even fight?
Mills, let me tell you something, right? All those American fighters over there, because they see the money from Saudi Arabia, now they all running scared.
All the American fighters can't nobody fuck with American fighters. Muhammad Ali from America, boy. Yeah, you talking about?
I don't care what we see.
Mayweather from America, boy. The best of the best is from America, bro. What the fuck you talking about?
We ain't talking about the best of the best back in the day. No, now.
Best from America, nigga.
Yeah, back in the day.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I still got my man Low Nose in here. Low Nose, continue, man. What's your thoughts, man? Continue on the thoughts. You see what the people are feeling, man. We got over 177 people on the YouTube live. Make sure you guys go out your way, smash the like button, double tap the screen. Let's enjoy this show. Low Nose, what you got to give?
Santos did the right thing by fight. And been out of the ring for over 2 years, and he is the underdog going to the fight. And being that he was gonna get paid, why not? That's like
you sound a little choppy.
Hold on, let me check my shit. Hold on.
Choppy.
Let me fix this choppy shit.
Remember that song?
Yeah, you put it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was saying was Delos Santos did the right thing by pulling out of the fight. He hasn't fought in over 2 years, and being that he was still gonna get paid, why not? That's like you go to your job site and they tell you go home, man. You're still gonna get paid. I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? And once again, he was at a disadvantage against a highly skilled fighter who had the advantage in size. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm disappointed. I had a fight party lined up. Now I gotta figure out what's gonna be plan B. I might just step out. You know what I mean? Probably see the fight.
I agree with everything he just said, bro. Like I said,
hold on. You was talking. You just went right over him. Hold on.
Yeah, come on, man. Y'all talking. Y'all been quiet the whole time, bro. Delos Santos, I still want to see him get a payday with somebody. I wouldn't be surprised if Javante gives him a payday after if Javante handles his business, which is not going to be easy.
You think he has an opportunity to fight Tank after Tank's at 135? Why would Tank?
I'm talking about Delos Santos.
Oh, yo, Delos Santos.
Yeah, Tank can run the narrative.
Oh,
the guy that
hell of a put. Oh, wait a minute. Here's this question. Did Edwin Delos Santos' stock go up after all this?
Why not? I mean, I wouldn't say gone up, but I've seen other people say
it's an honest question.
No, I've seen put it this way. I've seen other platforms say things to the extent where Keshan did this to get out of the fight. So there are people out there that are pushing a narrative that, maybe this is way ducking out, which I highly doubt that's not the situation. But there's people pushing that, and that in the YouTube community, people be pushing narratives, and certain people go with it. So. Delos Santos hasn't really been demoralized before. His last fight is a fight where he single-handedly put a stain on Shakur Stevenson's reputation as far as people call him a runner because of that fight. And then Keshan Davis comes in there 4 or 5 pounds overweight, doesn't take accountability of it. I mean, Edwin Delos Santos is not a world champion, but he knocked out somebody that became a world champion, somebody that went 12 rounds with Gary Antoine Russell. So, yeah, why not Tank fight him? Plus, you know how Tank like to move. Tank could be like, I'm fighting a guy that Shakur ran from. I'm fighting a guy that Keshan came in overweight to not fight. That's what he'll push. And why not? I could definitely see Tank versus Delos Santos, assuming Tank handles his business with
Lamont Roach.
Lamont Roach, yeah. I almost said Frank Martin.
I like this comment right here. Answering the question right here as far as did Delos Santos' stock go up? It stayed the same, but it just made him more relevant. That's a beautiful one right there.
Yeah, good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah, I like that too, because I didn't come up here to say Delos Santos is trash, bro. Like, I watched.
No, you very respectful. Very respectful.
Yeah, Delos Santos is not trash, bro. Actually, I got a brother in prison. He don't know shit about boxing. He's saying Delos Santos is trash. I'm like, bro, you don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Delos Santos is not trash, bro. I'm just saying from my eyes. Not on no bias shit, but from my eyes, I just think that Keshan is more talented. You know what I'm saying? I think he's more talented. I think he's more athletic. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. I don't think Delos Santos.
No, you ain't saying that. What you were saying was he's seen drugs, he's seen this, he's seen that. That don't mean nothing. Like that shit don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Listen, bro. When I said that shit, bro,
like you said that, like you ain't afraid of nothing. Goddamn, let me fucking talk, nigga. What the fuck is
I'm letting you talk, bro. All I said, listen, bro.
Mills.
Keep this clear.
Literally, what I said, Mills, is they said he's too braggadocious and he does it because he's scared. I said, what the fuck is he scared of when he come from this, come from that? That shit ain't got nothing to do with boxing. Devin Haney is a good boxer, right? He don't come from the fucking streets, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that shit mean nothing, bro. Him coming from DR, that shit don't mean nothing. Keshan coming from the streets, that shit don't mean nothing, bro. What I'm saying is, when a motherfucker say he's scared and he doing something because he's, what the fuck is you scared for? We walk outside, we walk to football practice and motherfuckers get to shooting. We play in football fields with fucking heroin needles in the fucking grass. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is he scared of? He a boxer, bro. How was he scared? How was he scared when he still tried to go with the fight? They had second negotiations, right, and it fell out, right? Not on Keshan end. It fell out on Delos Santos end. Not saying
I didn't put on Delos Santos end.
I'm not saying Delos Santos was wrong for not fighting. I already said he was right for not fighting, bro. Why fight when you get your money anyway?
His manager didn't want him to go into the ring. He wanted to fight. His manager said, I'm not gonna put my fighter at risk. So no fight. The kid wanted to fight. That's why even for missing it. He still wanted to get in the competition because he believed in himself.
They not wrong, bro. They not wrong, but what people say all the time, bro, no fighter is fucking scared of no fight. Keshan fought in different countries, bro. He ain't just fighting fucking America. He done already been to the fucking Olympics. He got a silver medalist, bro.
No, yeah.
Bro, the tale of the tape going into this fight is this is real test. Your real test, you couldn't man up to make weight and step in there with the kid. Bro, I ain't got no respect for that. I ain't saying Keshan is a bad fighter either, but I ain't got no respect for that. When Floyd was supposed to fight Diego Corrales, he didn't
listen,
pull
bro,
his shit up.
Did Bob pick Delos Santos or did Keshan pick Delos Santos?
Clearly, Keyshawn's saying that he did.
So what is he? What the fuck is he scared of him for? If he picked him, he
I-
could have picked
I-
anybody.
I mean, check this out, right? Teo picked Boots.
Bro, he knew fucking Boots wasn't gonna fight him, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You know he was.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Fights, man. He know damn well Boots. How long Boots been saying he wanted to unify and he wanted to go undisputed?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he know that man wasn't gonna try to fight him, bro. That man trying to get another belt. That man trying to get ready for Norman, bro. Come on, man. That man wasn't gonna fight that dude.
Right now,
It looked like he might be moving up as well.
Right now, what Keyshawn got to do is, right, he ain't got no fight coming up. Right now, what he got to do is show the world that he ain't scared of Delos Santos. Renegotiate.
He needs to get back in the ring, for sure. You're right. A new fight date.
But that's why I said, let's just watch the rest of his career. I said, y'all disappointed, we disappointed. We can't say if the man was scared or not. Let's just watch the rest of his career and see what he do. Because he not the first fighter to miss weight, bro.
No, bro. If you say you want to be elite, like he's talking about legacy and all that stuff, bro, Floyd defended his title. All the champions that I know that made me love boxing, they defended their titles. They made weights. What are you talking about?
Listen, bro. Shakur missed weight, bro, and he went on to be a champion.
Who's Shakur Stevenson? He got his first real test coming up against the Vader. I'm talking about great legends that made way for these kids. These kids are playing the game, bro.
But
These
how
kids
can
are
you
making
say?
the game look like shit, bro.
But how can you say Keyshawn not gonna be a legend off of this, bro? You judging him off of this? You ain't even let him get another fight.
I'm checking him out, but if you ain't no professional defending your title 3-4 times before you leave the division, how are you a champion? You know, unifying. How are you a real champion?
He should have tried harder than miss weight, bro. I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you wrong, bro. But what I am saying is, we did.
He knew he couldn't make that weight before the fight. All he could have told the Santos team 3 weeks before, hey, listen, we're gonna fight at 137, 138. Not the day of the fight or the day before the fight. That's bullshit. That's like some corny shit you try to pull up. And thanks to God, Ryan Garcia already did it already. So now everybody knows.
If you wasn't trying to make weight, right? If you didn't give a fuck about making weight, would you even go out to run in the sun and shit? Because it's hot as hell in Norfolk right now.
We don't know what he was doing though, bro. Well, all I know is this.
I know. That's what I'm telling you. We know, bro. We know. He in the streets. He was in the streets running and shit, bro. He had the little kids. Him and his brother.
Jamel, I'm tapping you in next, Jamel.
He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. And
bro,
I'm
still trying to figure out how the fuck you know what the fuck he was doing, bro. Like, you ain't telling me how the fuck
what he was trying to do was get a weight advantage and what? Put him in the hospital. And his team is like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna cheat us.
Man, he would have fucked that man up, boy. I'm telling you.
Yow!
I hear you, but what I know in boxing is one shot can take the whole fight. And I know Delos Santos got out.
Look, I came up in the gym with that boy. Only reason I stopped boxing because I went to penitentiary. He would have fucked that man.
There's a lot of footballers that say the same thing, bro.
Guys, I'm gonna spin the room around. If you guys want to jump back on, I'm gonna get some more people in just to get some more new voices.
I don't know you, but shout out.
Y'all be easy, be safe, man.
Not everybody. I don't need everyone to leave on me. Not everybody. Just one at a time. I want to get my man Jamil up in here too because, you know.
You can tap me out and bring me up later. I'm cool with that.
No, you can stay on. I got space. I got space. Low nose.
Yeah, I'm here.
Got my man Jamil YSM Parker. You like that one? You see how I added that, like Jamil YSM Parker, sports media. Talk to me. Oh, you nasty. You nasty. You said you ain't gonna ruin my day.
Yo, so I'm down in Virginia. I'm in Virginia Beach right now. So trying to enjoy myself.
Yeah. The signal kind of choppy.
How's my audio?
Your audio's clean. Everyone else is clean. He's in the beach. He's enjoying his time right now.
Oh, so he was going out there live.
Oh yeah, my man was in there. He was in there. He got some great content over there too. Check out YSM Sports Media, guys. If you guys are on
Yeah,
YouTube, he got some. He went in. He went in. He was in the press conference. Got some good content. He got a lot of like Delos Santos and Keshan going back and forth and stuff like that. So yeah. But talk to me, fellas. I mean, damn. So listen, real streets, man. You came in real controversial, but you came in real, and that's all I care about. You know, the energy was there. But my main question is that, you know, what's next for Keyshawn, and like, what type of name champ does he go into a champion title fight at 40 straight into it?
You got to right this wrong before he can move on with his career. He can't just go in there, and this is his first real test, Mill. This is your first real test. You got to show us you can do something with Delos Santos, and then everybody going to be like, wow, you deserve a Tank Davis fight. You deserve a big fight. If you cannot go through this kid, you don't deserve none. All that talk, I don't want to hear none about it.
Now, does Delos Santos get the Tank fight?
Yeah, he gonna get it.
Does Delos Santos get? Oh, wait a minute. You don't know how to be professional. See, that's PBC looking at it like, yo, listen, you don't know how to be professional? I'm gonna take that shit. I'm gonna take that win that you wanted. You wanted that win. I'm gonna take that win from you.
That's a chess move right there. I could definitely.
That's a chess move and a half. Matter of fact, you had Shakur Stevenson dancing, and you got this guy not making weight. I'm gonna scoop you like ice cream.
Right. As far as Delos Santos' next move, I mean, not Delos Santos, Keyshawn, what makes sense, being that it looks like he's going to 140, I don't think he's going to go straight into a title fight after what happened right now, but I could see him fighting at the top, like a respected fighter, maybe like a Jermaine Ortiz, or
I like that fight. I hit up Jermaine and I said, yo, call out Keyshawn.
Yeah, Jermaine Ortiz.
Call out Keyshawn, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, Jermaine Ortiz gonna play around too much. I want him back with Delos Santos.
Jermaine Ortiz only fought like that one time though. Jermaine Ortiz fought like that against Teo. He don't fight like that against everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
I think
all them guys they know Delos Santos is the real deal, bro. That's why they're running scared of that kid. They know that. They know that kid catch you, something gonna happen. That's why they try to come in.
And then you got Frank Martin talking hot. Let me not forget that on whatchamacallit, Twitter. He said, yo, time to go to 140. Come see me.
Jermaine Ortiz is a better fight for him because Jermaine, all due respect, Frank Martin already got knocked out. If Jermaine Ortiz gets beat real bad.
But they got a storyline, though. They got a storyline.
But if he wants to make a real impact at 140 and get a shot at Teo, because Teo's the main top dog there, what he should do is try to fight Jermaine Ortiz. If he can stop Jermaine Ortiz.
No. There's no top dog at 40. You bugging. You lying. There's no top dog at 40. Nobody's a top dog at 40.
Subriel Matias. He's my top dog at 40. Yeah.
Subriel might lose his next fight. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Subriel Matias might be a champion after his next fight.
If he beats Puello, I'm gonna tell you right now, Subriel Matias beats Puello, he gets a lot of respect for that because Puello has already seen power, more power.
Us Boricuas don't duck no smoke. Dog, you bugging. We don't duck no smoke around here.
Bro, Subriel Matias is gonna come to you like a whirlwind, bro.
Us buddies don't duck no smoke.
Yeah, but Puello could box. Like I said, he outboxed Gary Antoine Russell, who's similar to Subriel.
No, they're not similar.
Different pressure, bro.
Different type of pressure. Different type of pressure.
Gary Antoine got more athleticism than Subriel.
Yeah, I believe that Gary's away attack is more educated pressure, but Subriel Matias is more relentless pressure. You know what I mean? It's way more relentless.
He's more awkward too. I mean, like I said, whoever wins that fight gets a lot of respect because Subriel beats him. You can't question him as far as the competition. And if Puello beats Subriel Matias, we got to go on the limb to say that he might have probably the best resume at 140 or one of them.
Bro, the moment Hector Luis Garcia came from the Dominican Republic and beat one of my favorite fighters in Chris Colbert, these kids don't want to mess with these boys no more.
Listen, at 140, I'm gonna tell you right now, Top Dog gotta earn it. For me, you gotta earn it.
They gotta
Yeah,
fight each other.
yeah.
They
It's all
gotta
about
fight each other.
styles
That's why,
make
let me tell
fights.
you.
Who's your favorite style? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
No,
you want.
that's why on Twitter Spaces, right? I didn't like Tio's answer when I asked him. I said, "Yo, why you don't just stick around and clean out 140?" He said, "I already cleaned it out. I beat Josh Taylor." I said,
Nasty
"No,
work.
that's not cleaning out a division, bro.
Nasty
You clean
work.
out a division. You beat the guy. Josh Taylor was a champion there who was from a prior generation. Now you got guys in your generation that's champions like Africa, like
Shit.
Gary Antoine Russell, like
Josh
Boyd.
Taylor can't catch a win.
Well, that's another story. But I'm just saying, you got to clean out a division. That's the bottom line. You can't beat somebody that was the top dog and say, all right, that dude did all his work when his generation was there. When you had Regis, when you had Ramirez, yeah, Josh Taylor was the man. He did what he did. But you can't take credit for everything else just by beating Josh Taylor. You gotta beat Hitchens. You gotta beat
You gotta put in work.
Yeah, you gotta beat the dogs.
Put in work.
Yeah, man.
Put in work. You know what I mean? You.
That's why I'm at his top right now too. He dug Devin Haney. I gotta admit.
Toma. Ahí estamos.
That's still my favorite fighter. But if I call somebody else a duck for shit they do, I gotta keep the same energy. He ducked.
Right.
He
He's going on a duck tour. You know, we have the duck tour in Boston. He's going on a duck tour. He's going on a duck tour. Let's be real.
Whenever there's a contract involved, forget about call outs verbally. When there's a contract involved, that's it right there. There's no way around it. That's a duck move.
Yeah, like Subir Matias' duck, right?
The Super Matias was sort of a duck move.
Because then you fight Arnold Barboza for less money.
Didn't he get paid like $10 million with Turkey?
10 million?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they say he got a $30 million.
Yo, you bugging out with that number. 10 million? You bugging. Hell no. Shit. Hell no. 10 million. You got 10 million for Arnold Barboza. You think you're gonna want to fight Jaron Boots Ennis next? Hell no. I'm chilling with 10 million with an easy win. You know what I mean? It's my opinion. That's all. You know, nah, man. I don't even know, man. If for me, I would have figured that Tio would have been talking about his biggest pay if he had his biggest pay there. He would have been talking about it. You know what I mean?
He ducked out of the Devin Haney fight right now.
And the Matias fight.
Matias ducked him also, but
No. It's nasty work. It's the nastiest at the highest degree.
Right now, until he cleans that up, the duck label's on him right now. That is his turn. A lot of people caught that duck label. Right now is his turn.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about 140 pounds? Everybody called out Tio. No cap. Everybody's calling him out. Everybody at 140 has called out Tio. And there has been 2 contracts being sent to him at 140 pounds that he actually ducked. Everybody's calling out Tio at 140. I don't know what they see. I think they see the feet. I think they're looking at the Jermaine Ortiz fight, and they're looking at it like, hey, you know, I got a better outside game than Jermaine, so I could beat him, and that's probably what they're thinking, you know. But everybody's calling out Teofimo Lopez, so we can't say that he's the top dog.
But like I said, that's why I said he should. That's why I told him himself, you got to clean out your division. That's that.
Yeah, it's the nastiest work. It's the nastiest work. Abdullah Mason now. Wow. After all that talk, right? Now homeboy just takes the main event spot. Como like how life works, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if this would have been a few years ago, I would have been more excited for the fight. Because Nakatilia, if that's the same Nakatilia that fought Shakur Stevenson, right? The first guy that Shakur Stevenson fought very cautious against that he ran from, right?
Yes.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
basically, there's 2 people on the card that got Shakur Stevenson on a horse and galloping. You know what I mean? Like, he had him galloping in there.
His rep took a hit behind that. And like I said, man, Keshan, for the most right now slowed down his momentum because I was really campaigning for Keyshawn. I went on the limb to say that if Keyshawn knocks out Delos Santos, he deserves to skip the line. To skip the line, bro. I'm talking about skip Shakur to Javante, skip everybody else at 140 to T.O. I said that. But now with this right now, I'm like, damn, he just messed up. He can get back at it, but, just not boxing. It's as good as your last fight. This fight didn't happen. He just wants to bounce back. And if Keyshawn does, which I believe he will because he's a hell of a fighter, like I say, he's skipping the line for me, man. The dude is sellable. He knows how to talk. He's well-spoken. He got bravado. He comes to fight. He gets knockouts. Why not? He's a businessman. But unfortunately, he did some bad business.
Greg Hackett on the live. What's going on, Greg?
What's up, Mil? How you feel, guys?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Just living another day. What's your thoughts on this Keshan Davis not making weight and now Edwin De Los Santos not wanting to take the fight? What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think now the fighters want to be more famous than champion. So with that, what happens is, you got guys who are promoting their own fights, and they promoting to the point where they not training. And I'm not saying he wasn't in the gym. He was in the gym, but training is not just being in the gym. Training is when you go home, you got to lay down, you got to chill, you got to study. You know what I mean? You got to make sure you're eating right and all of that. And I think when you're doing all the moving around, promoting the fight, doing interviews, I think you lose touch of what's going on because you done did it so many times. At the same time, I kind of feel like he was a little nervous about this fight. The reason I say that was because it wasn't going to be as easy as the Baranchik fight. The Baranchik fight, you was leagues ahead of that guy due to size, age, skills. You know what I mean? It was so much that you had on that guy. Delos Santos, you might got him by like one step. But Delos Santos can keep up because of the speed, the power, and he don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? A lot of guys are intimidated nowadays by what they see. Delos Santos isn't one of those guys. He's a guy that's been in war, and he know what he's hitting for. As far as Delos Santos not taking the fight after the negotiations, after the weigh-in, I think was smart was simply because you did your part and you got paid. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, yeah, we want to get paid. And he did his part. He made weight. Now, I don't think that whole thing was on his behalf because I heard it was because Keyshawn didn't want to do the 10-pound weight clause. Right. You know what I mean? Which I feel like you owe him that because Lemos did it for you. You know what I mean? Lemos did it for you. So there's a lot of feelings I got about it. But, my number one thing is guys got to stop trying to be the promoter and be the fighter.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that for sure. Like, so you like the decision that Edwin De Los Santos took, and do you see a future Javante Tank Davis fight for himself? Due to the fact that you got Shakur Stevenson, had a fight with Edwin De Los Santos, didn't do too well. Then you got Keshan Davis not making weight for De Los Santos. I mean, do you feel like this is an opportunity for Tank to scoop De Los Santos for a fight?
It is an opportunity, but at the same time, Tank got unfinished business with Lamont Roach.
100%.
So I wouldn't think so far ahead. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? The way things been going for these fighters, I wouldn't.
He's a PBC fighter. That's why I ask.
No, I get that. That's cool. But I'm just saying I wouldn't jump the gun. At the same time, I don't think nobody's really rushing to get in there with a guy like Delos Santos because he's a spoiler. He could fuck up the plans. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is he can punch. He is fast. You know what I mean? So if you go in there fucking around, playing around, looking for an easy night, he'll get you out.
Right. 100%. I definitely agree on that. So as far as Keshan is concerned, man, I mean, what do you feel like is the best route for him at 140 pounds?
I would say separate yourself from your brothers for a second. Go in the dark and become a complete monster. Don't put so much, energy into trying to make things look a certain way. Just go out there and get ready. You know what I'm saying? 140 is a loaded division. It's a lot of smoke. To be honest, wherever you turn your head is some type of smoke. So it don't matter who he get in there with. Just focus on being you. Be the best you.
What do you think about Abdullah Mason? Just that talk that he had in the press conference, and saying he wants him next, but necessarily doesn't really have plans on making weight.
I wasn't really impressed by that because Abdullah is a kid. And what I mean by that is, Abdullah ain't really been in no real shootouts just yet. So you pressing him really ain't impressive to me. I never liked bullies. And I'm not trying to say Keyshawn was being a bully, but he was being a bully. You know what I mean? You was trying to press a kid out that is on the up and coming, and he really not ready just yet for a Keshan Davis. But there is a Raymond Muratalla, and I didn't like what I heard when they asked him about Raymond Muratalla. So it's things like that I'm not a fan of things like that.
Yeah, I hear you on that. It's real. That's super real. Do you feel like Mason will be able to kind of like captivate a big fan base in Norfolk, taking this main event spot?
I mean, Mason's going to shine bright because I'm going to tell you why. It takes a lot. It takes a lot in a man. It takes a lot in a man to have another man sitting there talking crazy and you keeping your composure. So what that tells me is he's a well-schooled young man. And as big as he is, he made that 135. He made that. So he going to go in there and put on a show tonight. You know what I'm saying? I think he going to be great. But the self-control that he possesses, I really applaud him for that because I don't have that kind of self-control. And I'm a lot older than him. And I don't have that kind of self-control. You know what I mean? So to see a young kid with that kind of self-control, that was very impressive.
100%. 100%. It seemed like just off of all that controversy, it kind of is going to benefit Abdullah Mason in the long run.
Yeah, that's my point. Things are going to go his way, and he going to be a shot caller pretty soon if he keep up what he's doing, staying respectful but beating guys up. He's going to be a shot caller for sure.
Getting into this business side of things, though, you've been there with Boots and his main events, right? You've seen him grow from Atlantic City all the way to the one that he fought in Philadelphia, bigger venues. You go in the beginning, you're hot, right? You're selling out venues, and then you might, maybe sometimes when some of the fans, they see that, hey, your opponent ain't that good, I might miss out on this fight. I might not pull up to this one.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Keshan's stock might drop in his neighborhood due to stuff like this? He didn't apologize after not making the weigh-in, and a lot of people didn't enjoy the attitude as well.
I don't think his stock will drop. I think he do have to go home, do some soul searching. I think he'll talk to his mom. His mom will set him straight. But that's a what if. I don't know. I don't know. But I can say this. If you look at Norfolk, Virginia right now, the DB3 shit is the best thing they got going on. No disrespect to Norfolk, Virginia, but you got Allen Iverson and you got Michael Vick. They guys that you can learn from, but at the same time, it's your time. So you can take advantage of that, but don't mistreat it. Right now, you're mistreating it. You know what I'm saying? But I think in the future he can make it right.
Calvin Davis and Wu, what you think about the fight? What's your prediction?
That's a great fight. I'm glad that fight is happening. To be honest, Wu hasn't fought at 140 in a long time, so I think he'll feel great. Kelvin, I feel like he's motivated. I think he'll feel great. The thing is, it's gonna come down to decision making. Who goes in there and make the right decisions? You know what I'm saying? I say that because you're not fighting a slouch on either end. There's no slouch in this fight. There's no. You know what I'm saying? There's no a guy that's like, he got like a leg injury or a hand injury. This is two healthy dogs, and they going to get it in. So I feel like whoever tank is the biggest, and whoever can make the right decisions, and whoever go to the body, I think going to win this fight. Whoever go to the body, make the right decisions, and they got a true tank, I think we'll see a great fight.
Watching Keshan's story, he was filming the face-off. He was saying, why are you so concerned about me? And that's Keshan saying that. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like there's animosity towards just Wu and just the Davis family, and that's why kind of it brings it to a real good action packed fight because of the storyline.
Yeah, I mean, if you be honest, that was a good fight, and what people
First
don't want to be.
adversity test for Keyshawn.
Yeah, and what people don't want to be honest about is he almost knocked Keyshawn out.
Mmm.
And people don't want to be honest about that. He did almost knock him out. He hit him with a beautiful shot, and Keyshawn was aware enough to grab him. If he didn't grab him, he might have got stopped. But people don't want to be honest about that. But that's fine because it's the past. But now you fighting the big brother. I think the pressure's on the big brother to go out there and put on a show. But he hasn't been in there with a guy like Wu. This is his first time with a guy like Wu. So it's a lot we got to be honest about with this fight.
100%. 100%. We got Tiger Johnson versus Boca Chica on the card.
Yeah.
I think that's very underrated type of a fight.
It is.
Tell me about that matchup per se. Tiger Johnson moving up quickly and performing, at a high level.
Tiger Johnson, I feel like he's of that level because he was an Olympian, so he's seen great competition before. At the same time, Boca Chica is the guy at the foul line. You don't know if he gonna miss or make the shot. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is you never really know what Boca Chica you're going to get. You might get a Boca Chica who been working hard and he's been doing everything he's supposed to be doing, or you might get the one that's that bullshit around sometimes. I think this is a great fight. It's a great test for Tiger Johnson. At the same time, he's nobody to sleep on. Boca Chica is nobody to sleep on. So, just have your bootstrap.
Andrew James, thank you for the 5-piece. As time goes on, Tank has the best resume. Shakur hasn't fought no one elite at 135. Herring is not an elite to me, and Shakur is very boring runner. Okay.
Well, Herring was at 130.
Champion at 130.
Yeah, that fight was at 130.
Right. Yeah. So Tiger Johnson and Boca Chica. Obviously, Tiger Johnson's first time at welterweight in his last fight looked good. Got the stoppage. I think it was against my man from the Mexican Bull that fought Regis. I forget his name. But yeah, this seems like a measuring stick, Greg, for a possible Brian Norman Jr. versus Tiger Johnson. What would you say that?
I mean, it's very much possible. They with the same promotion company, and it's lining up real good. It might be something that we could see next year.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight?
I mean, right now, you got to get an edge to Brian Norman Jr. He's been through a lot more as far as a professional, but Tiger Johnson, again, he's a really good skilled fighter with a mean streak. So I give the edge for sure to Norman Jr., but Tiger Johnson, by the time they fight, will be nothing to sleep on.
Right. I like it. I like this a lot. Man, I haven't talked to you for a little bit. What you thought about Caleb Plant's, he got upset? Big upset.
Looking at the fight and listening to what was going on, from a coach's point of view, it seemed to me that Caleb Plant just took Resendez for sweet. He thought it would be a lot easier fight, and he didn't prepare for a war. He prepared for a fight, easy fight, meaning he'll just go out there, score his shots, dance around the guy, and possibly stop him. But I didn't think that he really prepared for war. It didn't look that way because he was very uncomfortable when the guy started punching. When the guy started punching, his reflexes told him to hold. You know what I mean? He wasn't looking like the counter with nothing real crazy. I mean, he tried, but Caleb Plant just didn't look like he was there 100%.
Maybe possibly something happening in training camp.
Yeah, I mean, shit always happened though. If you know the game. Shit always happened in camp.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Lots of people giving backflash to Bren. Probably specifically when they say hit him low. I think I've been getting a lot of comments from it. What's your thoughts on that comment? And is when they say hit him low, is that the hip check that that he means?
Well, every coach got different terminology, so I don't know exactly what that means coming from Breadman, and I don't be around Breadman enough to know what that means. But I'm gonna tell you this: this is a rough, tough game that we in, and ultimately it's a fight. So hit them low, hit them high. I don't know. Let's get it. You know what I mean? It's a fight.
Big facts.
I was always taught whatever a guy do to you, do it back. You know what I mean? So if it was a dirty term and then something happened dirty in the ring, shit, my advice is return the favor.
Yeah, nah, that's fair to say. Um, obviously we seen Jamal Charlo and Cornflake. Um, what's your thoughts on his, return back in the ring after 2 years?
For Jamal Charlo, that was a perfect type of fight. You know what I mean? He came back against a guy that had a beautiful record, and he wasn't the biggest puncher, and he was gonna be there for him. But he didn't really need anything top notch because he'd been out of the ring for a while. But he did exactly what he was supposed to do. I always look to see how guys are going to handle the situation, and what he did was he went in there and just took his time, worked behind his jab, and whatever Cornflake gave him, he took it.
Do you feel like this was another sign of like kind of like what happened in Times Square, that it was a big lead up for Ryan and Devin, and this one was a lead up for Caleb and Charlo? Do you feel like the performances that took in place? Do you feel like they can't? This fight can't happen next. Kind of like Charlo said, he dropped the ball.
I mean, he dropped the ball as far as the hype of it. The hype. When guys say that, they still want to fight, but it's just the fact that you took the flair away from it. You know what I mean? The way it looked at first, it looked great. Now it's like, all right, I'll watch it. You know what I mean? Because it's still a good fight. The thing is,
Would the promoters put it together?
yeah, would they put it together? And then also, the lesson learned is, guys need to stop overlooking their opponents. You know what I mean? Stop talking about future fights when you have a current fight.
Right. Fair to say, man. Fair to
Yeah.
say. Any other anything that you expect coming back for this fight per se?
For who?
Anybody on the card?
Oh man, I'm looking forward to this card though, because I didn't know some of the guys that's on the card was on there. The guy Yuri, what's his name? Yuri Santino.
Yeah.
The Dominican kid. I like that kid a lot. I mean, he come to Philly and spar, and
He got a lot of hype. He got a lot of hype.
No, Cuz can fight though. He a real dude, and he train hard, and he could punch, and he awkward, southpaw, strong kid. You know what I mean? He's a good look for 160 pounds. Of course, I like Troy Osley. That's my dog.
You know who he's fighting?
No, I'm not too educated on the guy, but it looks to be a good fight. I mean, we'll see what happened. Who else I saw was on that card, man? It's a bunch of little dudes. Of course, the Tiger Johnson fight. We talked about that. The other two Davis brothers. Oh yeah, the kid Scooter Davis. I mean, it's an action-packed card. I like the card.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, who do you think has the bigger test out of some of these guys? Like, when I look at Abdullah Mason and I look at Floyd Schofield, I kind of look at them as like they have kind of like the similar upbringing when it comes to the pros.
Yeah.
Who do you feel like has the bigger test? Jeremiah Nakatilia or Tevin Farmer?
Well, situations like this, I'm gonna always go with the unknown. What I mean by that is Nakatili. The reason I'm saying unknown is because he comes from a totally different country. You know what I mean? So the way he trains, the things he do, the way he throws his punches, everything is going to be a little bit different. So I would say that's going to be the tougher fight. Because we know things about him, but we don't really know. You know what I mean? We don't, and you never really know what these guys be going through in camp. So again, you never really know what's going on. But because he's from a different country and he can punch and all of that, I think that part of it is going to be a little bit different for for kid. I mean, what's his name?
It's Mason.
Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason. Now for Kid Austin, he got a guy that we do know. We've seen plenty of tape on. You know what I'm saying? And he's been in the light these last few fights. So you know what I mean. I think they feel comfortable. I think they feel like they got a lick. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's gonna be a lick. But you know, they think they got one. So you know, we'll see what happens.
I like it. I like it. Very intrigued.
For sure.
Very intrigued for this matchup this week. It was a bummer, but it's still a great card from top to bottom.
No, it's definitely a great card. They just took the cherry off top. You know what I mean? Keyshawn and Delos Santos was a very underrated fight. It was a great fight. And I'm a little mad myself that they're not fighting. You know what I mean? Because we've been talking about it. You know, and especially because the reason they're not fighting. I think that was kind of corny, but you know, you got to respect the decisions made. You know, in the game. But we, like you said, we still getting a great card.
Definitely still getting a great card. Um, what's up with you, man? You got another fight day coming up, or you just gonna just play coach for a little bit? How does it go with you?
I don't know, man. We play it day by day. We don't ask for nothing. You know what I
Every
mean?
day,
We
huh?
don't get mad about nothing. Yeah.
Day by
We just,
day. You
yeah, we
wild for
just.
that.
I mean, people try to plan shit, but you know it don't go as planned. So I try not to plan shit.
Yeah. I figured I figured you could be a good draw out there if you promoted the right way, right?
What you talking about? Fighting?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an old man. I ain't really getting all fired up for these dudes, man. It ain't even worth it at this point, unless it was something to really get hype about.
You
But I'm
like
an
the
old
last
man.
minute joints.
Yeah, I like to get my wreck. Yeah, I just whenever I get that itch, I want to go ahead and scratch it. I ain't got time to be playing with nobody.
It's like you more focused on the students more than anything else.
Yeah, and I like to pay attention to the game. You know, the game, is a little crazy right now, but I like to pay attention to the game and pay attention to the fighters. You know what I mean? But me myself, I hop out there whenever. It don't matter to me.
Um, you got Jabril Noble still?
Yeah, for sure.
When's he fighting
Yeah.
next?
Hopefully in August, man. We trying to work something out. We've been going through a lot, man, because I think it's a lot with that situation. I think a lot because of me, and I think a lot because what this kid brings to the table, and they trying to give me a hard time because I won't let them sign with anybody. But that's because I know they really don't have his best interest. You know what I mean? I see what they doing with other fighters, and that's not what I want for my fighter. I want different for my fighter because I know he's different. And the reason I know he's different because I see him in the ring with some of the best fighters in the world, and he handled himself well. So I'm not about to sell my guy short. You know what I mean? For anything.
So how do you keep him active, not being signed?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard because you know what I mean. I don't have the money to move them myself. You know what I mean. That takes a great load of money. You know what I mean, to move them yourself. But it's just the promoters. They try to give us a hard time about nothing. Really, it's really just some weird shit because they got the power to move how they move. So but they suffer in the end because we sell out and we put on great shows. Every time my dog's been out there, he put on a great show.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's how the business is, man.
Yeah, it's a grimy game. I know how it go. It's crazy.
What you think about Polanco and Rashidi Ellis? If that fight, number 7 versus number 6 in the WBO.
I mean, I just want to see Rashidi back, man. I feel like Rashidi got sold short a little bit. It's a couple fights out here that he could have had, and I don't know what's going on. But at the same time, I'm glad he's still active. I feel like he got a lot. Woo!
Woo!
I feel like.
What up, G?
What's up, my boy? What's
How you
going
doing,
on?
big bro?
You already
I
know.
missed you, dog. I missed you. I gotta get back to Philly.
Same to you, my dog. Man, ain't too much going on. You know how it is. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that Rashidi is, still active. And, Polanco, I don't really know too much about Polanco. I've seen him fight, but I ain't locking nothing in my memory deck, so I gotta watch him again. But, I think it's a good fight.
Blake.
Hold up. So, well, what's happening?
No, Rashidi Ellis is number 7 in the WBO, and Polanco is number 6. And they've shared the ring together. Lots of back and forth as far as why can't these guys get in the ring for sparring anymore. And yeah, they talked on live saying that they want to make it happen. So I'm here just applying pressure and asking people their predictions on what that fight would look like if they did fight.
I'll love to see it. Just check it out. You know, why not? Why not make it happen? I'm pretty sure that would work out. Hopefully, it'll be a fair fight. You know, whereas though, like, you know, fair judging and a fair amount of time for preparation and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Why not?
What's your thoughts on Keshan Davis not making weight for Edwin Delos Santos?
I mean, that shit sucked. I mean, I wanted to see the fight. I don't know. I've grown to become a fan of Keshan. I mean, he's in the same gym as me. Their boxing skills are pretty good. They work on a lot of very high end skills and tactics that are pretty good. I just wanted to see it. I just wanted to see it for myself in the action, you know, in the fight. It's a kind of a shame because that guy that he was fighting, Shakur had a hard time with that guy.
Edwin Delos Santos.
Yeah.
So that being said, I mean, now the fight's not there. Why do you feel like, you know, a lot of people are saying that this was Keshan's real, true test in his career. What would you guys say about that?
Yeah, I would say it is because you getting a guy who has a multiple package. When I say multiple package, what I mean is sometimes you get in there with a guy with speed but no power. Sometimes you get a guy with power with slow feet, no head movement. Sometimes you get a guy who's awkward but he don't have speed or power. You know what I'm saying? So this guy having speed, power, he's awkward and he's explosive and he's not scared. You know what I mean? That's a package. So yeah, for me, I was thinking, yeah, this is a test. This is a test, a really good test. You know what I mean? Speed matters, bro. Speed matters.
Changes everything.
People be high off the power, but shit, that power don't mean shit if that shit ain't landing. But when you got speed with that shit, you know, we talking about something dangerous now. You know what I mean?
Especially if you apply a great timing with it, it's hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll take that over power any day.
Yeah. I mean, you know, yeah. Depending on what type of day it is, though.
That's true, too. Blair, what's your thoughts on that?
Hey, man. That's G. That's my thoughts on that. You know what I mean? I stand behind my man, Everything he's saying is 100%.
Right. Keshan Davis's next move. Who do you guys want to see? At 40.
I say anybody at 40, man. It's a lot there.
The styles make fights. You gotta. What would be a good matchup for him that he can get all the stigma of, you know, like not making weight and not fighting an elite guy.
You know what? You know what he owed the people? He owed the people of Norfolk. He owed them a show, right? So you get I say him and Frank Martin at 40.
There it is.
Yeah,
Frank Martin, or even like, you know, just bring one of those good guys out, man. I mean, you know, I would love to see it. Why not Elvis Rodriguez or somebody like that?
There you go. Yeah, price like that.
Elvis Rodriguez.
Yeah, no.
That's a name. And he's still young too.
He's a young name. You know what I mean? He showed a little imperfections, but he's a top fighter. You know, with a lot of power. So what ends up happening when you beat this guy, it's like, yo, you pretty much beat an Olympian, one, and a really good fighter.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course we got this guy in Philly, the Cuban Olympian that Boots and them be training with. Well, what's the guy name?
Andy
Cruz.
Huh?
Andy Cruz.
Andy Cruz.
Yeah.
And why not run that fight?
Andy at 35 though.
Yeah. Yeah. And Andy's. You think Andy's even big enough to be at 40?
I think eventually he will.
Okay.
Andy just don't have a mass because he not big on lifting weights. So he looks small, but Andy got good size to him and he got the ability. So I think he will go up to 40. And I almost kind of think Andy Cruz will be forced to go to 40 because I feel like at 35, man, these dudes they don't be wanting no trouble. I don't know what it is about 35, but if you look at 35, it's a lot of little great fights, but it's like they not fighting each other. So I don't know what that is, but I think at 40 we get more action.
Yeah, I like that too. Dr. Goya, thank you for the 2-piece. Thank God Edwin and his team are not money hungry. Shit. I mean, they got paid. You know what I mean?
No, they definitely got paid, but that was due to just business.
Right.
No, they did. That was great. That was a great job.
It's a good move. It's a good move in the chessboard.
Smart, very smart. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you know when you got someone on check, but you don't got them on checkmate. You know what I mean? And that's what that move was. He just moved, and now we don't get the fight.
You got a real good manager.
Yeah.
Samson made that call.
Yeah.
They were actually saying that, the reports were saying 139.4, but Samson said it was 139.9. So basically 140. Yeah. And he already has a big advantage, don't you think, Greg?
What you talking about, Keshan?
Yeah, I think he has already a big advantage just off of just making the weight alone. Why he's gonna rehydrate that?
Yeah, I mean he already got the big advantage with the weight already, and then the momentum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I don't understand is, right, if you got to be 49 in the morning, that means you still ain't fighting until like 11 o'clock. So you could probably eat up until like 6 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock. You can eat. So if it's about food, I mean, get busy.
Yeah, I know. And him not agreeing to that was really got me thrown off a little bit. Like, damn, you're in your hometown. Like,
right.
That threw me off a lot, Greg. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, that threw me off too. You know what I mean? I feel like he kind of was being selfish with that because you already got stripped, so the people are already looking at you kind of crazy. But then you not accepting the 10-pound weight clause that's going to be done in the morning, and then you can still eat. I don't get it.
Don't
I
make
don't really
sense.
get it.
Andrew, thank you for the 2-piece. Keshan versus Teo, but Teo ducking Keshan versus Haney. Yeah, Teo
just in no man's land right now.
Yeah, Teo. Everyone's calling out Teo at 40.
Yeah, I don't know what Teo crazy because he actually got a good lottery ticket, but he won't play it.
And that's the Haney fight.
I mean, his name is hot, but it's hot for the wrong shit. But his name is hot. With that, there is fights, but you calling out guys it's no benefit for them. If Bud was to fight him, it's no benefit. If Boots was to fight him, it's no benefit. But him and Devin, a lot of benefit there. It's a lot of benefit there. So why wouldn't you take that fight with Dev?
Especially now that, the way Dev performed with the Jose Ramirez fight.
Yeah, you would think they would make that happen. That was kind of weird. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Teo got in plans, bro.
A lot of people say, why would he be afraid of Devin? It's not that he's afraid of Devin and his power and his threat inside the ring. He's scared of a loss. Do you feel like that's what it is?
Yeah, because what it is it's the style matchup. He don't want to have to pick up his feet and go forward. He wants somebody to come to him. So it's just that simple. It's a simple equation. He don't want to go in there and put in the extra work. Because people don't understand when you fighting, it's not just throwing punches. It's a lot of thinking involved. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of movements, short movements, and it's chess. So a lot of guys don't want to test their brain in that way. They want to just go in there and beat the shit out of somebody. But it ain't always that easy. And I don't understand how we get all the way to this level and expect it to be easy. The higher you go up, the more of a challenge it's going to be. You know what I mean? That's simple. But you got these guys, they just want life to be easy. These kids right now, these kids today, they spoiled, bro. They don't want no fucking money. They spoiled. They want somebody to give them everything. And that's not how this shit go, bro. Especially in a game like boxing. You got to rumble, bro. We respect the great fighters for stepping up to the plate, for taking pay cuts. You know why Dave? I mean, you know why Dev always got he always got a save me card? Because if you think about the things he did in his career, you like, damn, he did do that. And what I mean is when he fought Cambosis, he took the pay cut twice. You know what I'm saying? You got to do things like that if you want to make shit happen. These dudes don't want shit to happen. They don't want no money. I don't think they want no money. You know what I mean? Because I would have been went ahead and did that. Whatever those fights is, whatever fights needed to be made, let's make them. See, I mean, you're making great money. You're doing big things already. A lot of people know you. You're making money off of sponsors. You're making money off a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Stop bullshit. A lot of these dudes are spoiled, though.
I've been noticing that especially in American boxing, is that lately we've been, these guys, they're less skilled than the guys in the early 2000s, but they're replacing that with, marketability and size. And that way they could be able to capture, titles at a lower weight class, but really feel, we don't really know who they are at that really natural weight itself.
Mm-hmm. And it's just making things confusing, man. It's a lot of confusion going on with these dudes, man, because you just don't know. Back in the day, you knew you was going to see some great fights eventually. You know what I mean? Not even eventually. You knew every other month or whatever, it was going to be set up. But now it's like, man, you don't know what the fuck going to happen. And then we get all hyped up, and they get to the weigh-in, and then it's some more weird shit. You would think like, damn, but that's not the way it's going.
So true. So true. Well, yeah, man. I'm about to call it quits. But yeah, man, definitely tap in with you guys a little bit later after the fights. I'm about to go grab some grub. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, for sure. I already know.
We talk, man.
No, for sure.
Stay blessed. You already.
All right, get with me, cuz.
Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet. It's your boy Mills from MillCity Boxing over that high-level pro boxing media. The Fighters and Trainers channel, and most importantly, the People's channel. Salute to everybody that has tapped in on today's live, from Greg Hackett to, Blair Cobbs, to the coaches, to everybody, man. Appreciate you guys and everyone that's in the chat. Salute to y'all. God bless. And we'll be back with a fight party. We're still going to do the fight party. You know what I'm saying? We're still going to do the fight party, even though this is a great card. You know what I mean? It's a great card. So we're still going to support that card that's happening. God bless, and on to the next. All right? See you soon.